Here's my update for Furlong for the week. I'm just going to be playing some background footage from my game development, but overlay is going to be the relevant images and clips and stuff. So let's get right into it. Now, of course, this is the biggest update. The biggest update is that I did complete the game design document. It is not very long for the time invested, but I was pretty busy this week. After a quick scroll through, here's the most important part.
Does this shit look good on paper? It does.
Alright, and with that out of the way, let's look over this. So here on page 1 you can see just a brief overview of the game with a planned release date of hopefully by the end of September. I'm going for a cozy vibe on the game. It's supposed to feel kind of like sitting around a campfire, if that makes any sense. It's going to be a game you could just relax and play and just kind of have fun, nothing that takes too much effort or attention. I'm also looking into making this an idle game, so you can kind of come back, check in. You don't have to constantly be playing it, but of course everything could change. This isn't set in stone. This is still early development, but this should give a clear outline of kind of what I'm going for at this stage. For gaming platforms, I'm obviously going for PC. That's what I play games on, and that's what I'm the most familiar with, but I'm also going to try to port it to mobile. This is because I think that this game is uniquely fit for like a mobile experience. For target audience, it's mostly going to be like people who play idle games, people who play like comforting kind of casual games. The core gameplay loop is of course going to be like buying pets, upgrading pets, unlocking pets, merging pets, and then, also buying decorations. I also have some ideas of how to add strategy to the game, so maybe each pet has like some likes. Maybe some pets like being around other pets and others don't. Things that would just add a little bit of spice. I think good sound design for a game like this is really essential. It should feel good to click things. It should feel good to move things. It should feel good to open menus. Especially menus, because that's going to be, most of the game is going to be, opening shops, going here, going there. It's going to be mostly like clicking to different areas. Also, the movement when you're merging pets should feel responsive and good to use. The game progression is going to start, showing the player kind of the end goal, kind of the goals of the game. It's better if I can make it more important. So if a good intro to the game can make it more important to the player, they're going to feel more emotionally invested and want to play the game more. After that, navigating the inventory, placing a pet and a decoration is going to be also essential. Being able to work through the shop easily and comfortably is going to be very important to the player as well. There'll be kind of a simple tutorial where you upgrade a pet and then you're able to merge two, show them. This will also unlock a new pet when you merge them. There's going to be a pet menu, so you can kind of talk to pets. Each pet will have its own kind of personality. I'm planning on adding some mini games, such as fishing maybe, so then you can pass some time and earn some money, just a little fun side thing. The story will be told through imagery and dialogue. You'll unlock more pets to talk to by earning money and merging old pets, and then this will mostly be done just kind of on the back burner. Once you unlock all the pets, there'll be like a final competition thing for the Cafe Cup. You'll win it, and therefore you'll complete the game, but then there will be like a free play mode. You can kind of just work on your strategy, see if anything, just kind of play around. The free play mode will also allow the player to like unlock any cosmetics or anything that they didn't unlock before unlocking all the pets, which is what will trigger the final competition. It's going to be a text-based game. It doesn't really fit with like voice acted roles, I don't think. I have a couple characters that I came up with. These are just the base characters. Of course, there's going to be more. But just as a starting point, I'm going to have a gray cat named Boot. He's going to be kind of like an urban. He's going to be very down to business. He's going to be very business first. But he's also going to be pretty nice and like kind, and like he likes other pets. There's going to be a crow named Odwin. He's going to be kind of like an eccentric type. He's going to like philosophy and poetry. There's going to be a blue rabbit named Mellow, which ironically will be kind of full of energy, but also have periods where she kind of crashes. There'll be a chickadee named Yvette, which will be kind of like a melancholic and somber character, and a beaver named Brutus, which will ironically again be lazy and like kind of tired, kind of a bum. It's going to be in the style of pixel art. Speaking of the art, I'm going to go for like warm colors, pastel colors. It's going to be mostly browns and oranges for the base skin, but there's going to be a lot of customization on the board and the border, as well as maybe even like hats for pets, stuff like that. I'm going to be using the Love 2D game framework. Other development tools I'm going to be using is Piskel, which is like pixel art. Paint.net has a little bit more advanced features, but I don't really like the layout of it as much for the pixel art itself. I'll be using Audacity as probably for the sound design, as well as that's what I use for these videos. My code editor is going to be Visual Studio. And then for game platforms, I plan to release on Steam, iOS, and Android. Probably Steam first. It's going to be a single player game, and the internet should not be required to play the game. The game's going to be pretty small. It should be able to run on any device pretty much. The game will also load quickly, but I'm considering adding like loading screens that will be like kind of like just add to the atmosphere of the game. I'm going to try to have the basic game elements by the end of June, the basic prototype by the end of July, and then polishing and reworking by the end of August, and then I'm going to try to release by the end of September. These are the milestones I could think of. Shop system, inventory system, upgrade system, merging system, cafe to talk to pets, cosmetics for player customization, a progress bar for the final competition, the final pet starts the competition, the final competition shows the pets, and the player gets an award. Then there's going to be a credits, which maybe not a credits because I'm doing everything. And then there's going to be like a free play mode, kind of. For marketing, this is part of my marketing. I'm planning on, posting on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And I'm going to spend as little money as I can, of course. But, I might have to spend some to get the word out there. It depends. To measure my success after the project, I'm going to see how much fun I had. Do I like doing game development? I want to learn new things. I want to accomplish a goal that I set for myself. I want to gain support for this game and future projects. I want people to, download it. I want good reviews. I want players to have a good experience. And again, I would like to gain support for future projects. And that's the game design document. I'm sorry I would go over more in detail of what else I did this week on Furlong, but time has escaped me and I do have work tomorrow. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to move the update to Saturday or Sunday. And that way I'll just have the weekend to work on the videos. That way they'll be higher quality. I realize that this one was probably kind of a snore fest, but if you did make it this far, I really appreciate it. So I hope you guys have a good day. Catch you next time.